Hi, Baldy Jack here, and welcome to another review, and happy Friday the 13th!
You know, today is the 13th, and why not celebrate with another Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees figure review, this time being on a double feature in a way, and that is the Mezco Cinema Fear Friday the 13th 2009 Jason, and then the NECA Friday the 13th 2009 Jason. Well, 2009, being the movie, but the release of these figures are 2 years apart. Mezco's figure came out, I believe, back in, of course, 2009, but I believe it was just before the movie came out, because I do remember getting this before the movie actually came out. The NECA figure came out in 2010, so yeah, 2 years, and so it's kind of a review of both and a little bit of a comparison. So first, we'll take a look at Mezco's figure, and this is the last 7-inch figure they actually ever did. One thing I like to say is that this machete that he's holding does not belong to him. The accessories to this figure I no longer have, so I'll pop up a picture here on the screen so you can see the accessories he had. He had the machete, of course. He had that tiny little pickaxe, and then the double-headed axe as well. And then, of course, we're capable of storing the machete in that little sheath right there. And for what this figure is, it's not that great, I want to say. It's just a really meh figure. I mean, for when it was released, it was pretty good. But NECA clearly showed this figure to be kind of trash. For starters, the head sculpt is really kind of not bad in a way, but his head is too small. That's the main thing I have. That's a problem with this figure. His head's way too small. The stylized thing has always been a thing with Mezco. I mean, the overall body on the figure is not too bad, but the build is a little kind of off. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I do like the eye sockets that are going on there, just a tad bit. The chevrons are really worn away, but also considering my figure's really worn as well, so it kind of gives it a more of a, almost want to say it looks a little bit better. There was also another alternate version of this figure with the sack mask. I believe it was an exclusive to some convention or something like that. I've been thinking about trying to pick that one up, but it's like a $50-$60 figure at this point. So it's basically this figure, but with an alternate head. Then you have the back of his coat. So overall, I mean, this figure, the articulation is a bunch of swivel joints, and then he has a ball joint in the head. So not much going on with this figure. I mean, he does have quite a pretty good amount of range of movement in the waist. But that's this figure. Moving on, we have NECA's figure. And I will say my figure isn't legitimately accurate to how I had him, considering the straps on the mask are elastic. I kind of reworked it where the hair the hair was attached to the straps on this figure, and that was one thing that really bugged a lot of people about this figure, considering you could remove his mask, but you could it just looked kind of really off with the figure, how the strands of hair were attached to the mask. So I kind of went in and switched that out. Another thing is the hand that on my figure for the gripping hand for the machete, it's not his hand. I mean, this was a hand from some other NECA figure, and I think it was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure from the beginning. That hand is just there. I mean, something happened to that hand. So this is kind of they kind of work. I mean, they're kind of like the same veiny, dirtied up style, except his right hand is kind of bloody, which would be kind of weird, but just go with it. You have the cuts in his pants as well, just like on the other figure. We also have a little sheath there for the machete. My machete has a little bit of drenched in blood, just a bit. Look at his mask. I mean, this is another plus side with NECA's figure is his head is a lot bigger, because the thing with this figure, well, I mean not figure, but the Jason in general from this film, is his neck is like a tree trunk, to where it basically is, you know, large as his head almost. Well, with the Mezco figure, it does not got that going on. The head's too small. So, let's remove the mask. I mean, one plus side, I really love the way this mask looks overall. And then there's his face. Pretty accurate for what the movie is, considering you very rarely see it. Like, it's just after the sack is removed off his face. So then I'll put a picture of that up on the screen as well, because I do not have the sack head for this figure. I have no idea what the hell happened to it. And then for the articulation, this figure has swivel joints and just I think it's a single bend in the elbow. So I'm just gonna go out, and then you have a swivel in the wrists. You have a swivel in the waist, but it's really hindered by, I think, the way the body of the hips and everything is molded, so he can't really turn that much. And then he has a swivel in the foot as well, just like the Mezco figure as well. I will say I do like both these figures, but I prefer the focus there. I do prefer the NECA figure over this guy right here, because he's just, I mean, it's the stylized look that just throws him off so much. And plus, the other addition is that how NECA gives you the sack head, when this figure had to have another release just to get it, and it was exclusive. And by the way, with that, the sack release of this thing, well, this figure, it looked a hell of a lot better than what this guy looks like. And thanks for watching.